In the big old 2025, we've seen undefeated fighter after undefeated fighter after undefeated fighter lose their zero, and I'm telling you right now, I think Dupains Duplessis is going to be the man to take Khamzat Chimaev's zero at UFC 319 in Chicago, baby. I can't tell you how excited I am for it. It's my home city. I'm going to go, and I literally, listen, they're starting tickets at $500, so I'm going to be at the nosebleed of all goddamn nosebleeds, but man, I could not ask for a better main event in Chicago, and I'm just going to be doing an early breakdown for this fight here, and explaining why I think Dupains Duplessis is going to be winning here, man. So let me just tell you this right now. I picked Robert Whitaker to beat Khamzat Chimaev. So I just want to put that out there, that there have been poor decisions made in the past where I might have kind of doubted Chimaev a little bit, okay? Focused a little bit too much on how he gasses out of there early. He's inactive all the time. His immune system is as frail as like pops from regular show. So it's just like that's kind of what we're dealing with for Chimaev. But at the end of the day, I didn't want to be that guy that's just kind of like, I'm just going to hop on ship if he's able to beat Whitaker. But dude, that win really stands out to me. Like, beating Usman is one thing for sure, but I feel like Usman gave him so much adversity. A lot of people could have argued that the fight was a draw. I thought it was a draw, but you could argue even Usman slightly won the fight. Whatever, man, but I thought it was a great opponent to beat, but considering the circumstances of everything, short notice, stepping up, I didn't rate it too crazy, you know what I mean? But beating a fully trained Whitaker, a Whitaker who trained not once a training camp for Chamay, but twice, so he was as prepared as he can get, and he got choked out. I mean, he didn't get choked out. His teeth goddamn caved in like a graphic-ass scene from something out of like The Boys Are Invincible, you know what I'm saying? So Whitaker, man, I think he's one of the greatest middleweights of all time. For Chimaev to do it, I mean, having a year off, fully trained Whitaker, that win really stands out to me, okay? And there's a lot we can kind of take away from that fight. But let me tell you right now, Dupains Duplessis is no Robert Whitaker, okay? He knocked out Whitaker in the first round. Here I am, I could talk all day about how Chimaev, it's so crazy, you know, people forget, man, you know, who does that to Whitaker? He's a marauder, you don't just do that. And it's true, like, to beat Whitaker, it's already a really hard thing to do. Barely any people in the UFC have done it, especially over the past few years. But Jesus Christ, man, we're dealing with Dupains and Khamzat, who both aced the test of Whitaker more than anybody else, you know what I mean? Dupains did it on the feet. I mean, don't get me wrong, they did kind of get a little scrappy on the ground for a little bit, but Dupains knocked him out on the feet, and then Chimaev tapped him out in a round. We're dealing with, in my opinion, two of the most exciting middleweights there are right now, and two of the most skilled, the two most skilled in my opinion. I feel like whoever is going to win this fight is going to be running the division for the next few years to come, okay? If Chimaev gets past DDP, I don't know who the hell is going to beat him, and if DDP beats Chimaev, which I think he's going to, dude, I'm telling you, this guy is going to surpass Adesanya. Don't throw the goddamn keyboard at me, all right, for all the Adesanya fans, but I'm telling you right now, Duplessis, if he's able to beat Chimaev, I don't know who the hell is going to stop him, and he's going to pass Adesanya as the second greatest middleweight of all time soon. Dude, I wouldn't even put it past DDP to become the middleweight GOAT, but before I go too crazy, I should probably fucking just say why I think he's going to win. Man, Chimaev here, I do think that he is literally, I know that Lucas Tracy likes to call him the Mike Tyson of MMA, and I think that's actually a pretty accurate analogy, to be honest. Like, the dude's grappling is something that, I mean, yeah, there's been really talented and elite grapplers, you know, I know the big old USA wrestling, you know, god damn it, Bobby, and then we have the Dagestani wrestling, you know, whatever the hell it is, we've seen some amazing grapplers in the UFC, but Chimaev, it's just something different. It's just his bread and butter, but to a different level, man, you know what I mean? It's just the urgency that he has to look for the finish on there, the urgency he has to just he has no problem shooting for your legs within the first few seconds of the fight, you know what I mean? The same energy that Masvidal had when he was throwing that knee at Askren, that's how Chimaev is with the takedowns, you know what I'm saying? So the guy, he's very efficient with the takedown entries, he's very slick with his submissions, he's very just dangerous down there. Chimaev just isn't the type of grappler, you know, he's not going out there and throwing pitter-patter ground and pound, he's not just laying on you and coasting out the round, racking up control time. Oh, what a dominant decision, man, you know, 15 minutes of control time. Nobody gives a fuck about that shit, okay? Chimaev, he's a finisher and he's dominant with the ground game, and he has the striking, honestly, in the back pocket to really kind of hold his own against a lot of guys. I know that Burns gave him a lot of adversity on the feet, I know that Usman gave him adversity on the feet, you know what I mean? And that alone is kind of a nightmare when it comes to someone who I think Dupains' striking is better than both those guys. Say whatever the hell you want about him slipping over a banana peel to do it, but man, Khamzat Chimaev, I can't deny that he does have good striking in the back pocket. I wouldn't even say that he's more so like one of the most complete fighters there is, because obviously he's going to rely a lot more on the grappling to get shit done, and that's going to be his key way to victory here, and against DDP specifically as well. But man, to have that striking in the back pocket, to have the power in the back pocket, it's a nice thing to have, okay? And especially when you're going against Dupains, who in my opinion, you want to talk about a complete fighter, you want to talk about well-rounded. I feel like the difference maker in a well-rounded Chimaev and a well-rounded DDP is Chimaev has a clear one path to victory. Like, yeah, his striking's good, yeah, his power's good, but he wants to take the fight to the ground. He's trying to squeeze your head off. If he could prefer to avoid exchanges on the feet or put himself in dangerous positions in there, he's going to. But DDP is is just as comfortable on the ground as he is in the feet. And the difference maker here that is going to clearly, in my opinion, separate this fight and really just cement it for DDP is the cardio. Because Chimaev could be the best grappler in the world. He could even have the amazing striking I'm talking about. But dude, if he can't maintain it for more than 2 rounds against a guy like DDP who has, he's racking up 5-round experience now. He entered that 4th round against Adesanya, second greatest middleweight of all time. He's been to the distance twice with the Apex Hall of Famer Sean Strickland, the distance merchant, the split decision king Sean Strickland. Here's the fucking thing, you guys. I'm gonna whoop that Dutchman all goddamn day. But the thing is too, he has not only good cardio, DDP can maintain a good pressure and a good pace for the entire fight. You know what I mean? He has high output. He's not only just a volume striker, but he's a finisher as well. He's not a guy who's a good volume striker example. Look at a guy like Max Holloway who has such insanely high output, or look at a Joshua Van. You could argue that they lack power, okay? But the thing about DDP is that he has that power. He has no problem just bringing down the feet. He puts forward a good pressure, you know what I mean? And don't be surprised too. I know I'm hyping up the striking and the cardio and all that, and I do say that he does have good wrestling to kind of make him very well rounded, but don't be surprised if DDP is going to shoot a takedown here. I feel like that it wouldn't even be a bad idea necessarily. Would it really hurt to, have Chimaev guessing, because it's the last thing he's going to expect. It feels like most people are just scared to get him down there, but I feel like that DDP has the goofiness and the confidence, not the stupidity, all right? He has the goofiness and the confidence to maybe feel comfortable to mix it up, because listen, if he's shooting against Chimaev, it's not just going to be to take him down. It's going to be to keep him fucking guessing. And it's now Chimaev has another thing to worry about. It's oh, try and grapple now, brother. Let's fucking go. And then all of a sudden DDP hits him with a nice one too, and Chimaev's laying flat on his back, and I'm going fucking crazy as my goddamn parlay hits, all right? I might be dreaming a little bit too big here, but in general, man, I just think that Dricus, it's really nice overall that he has just a good balance of everything, man. His striking and his wrestling and his cardio and his fight IQ. He has a good team behind him. Everything is there, man. Everything he does, I feel like, is with a bit of a purpose now. We saw that more so in the Strickland fight. Before, a lot of his fights in the UFC, really before the Strickland rematch, was just a whole lot of goofiness, and all of us were just questioning how DDP was even making it this far, man. But dude, you can't even deny that in the Strickland rematch, we're finally seeing a bit of DDP, it seemed like he focused a little bit more on the technicality. It seemed like he really was trying to find all the right shots. He kind of knew that Sean was going to be a hard guy to take out. So when he did hurt him in the 4th round, I believe it was, that's why I feel like he just started pouncing, throwing everything. And we saw that goofiness, and that was kind of, in him the whole time, all right? So we couldn't completely get fucking rid of it, all right? The goofiness and the wet floor sign inner DDP is always still going to be there, you know what I mean? We saw when Strickland, when he broke his nose and DDP was hurting him and had him against the fence and was hunting for the finish, the goofiness is still there, okay? But I think that having that wildness, having all that shit combined with how well-rounded he is, dude, it's a nightmare matchup for Khamzat Chimaev. And that's why I'm saying whoever wins this fight is going to run the division for a long time, because both of these guys are honestly each other's nightmare matchups, okay? Chimaev is going to bring a level of grappling that DDP has never faced before, okay? Yeah, he's fought Strickland and Adesanya and Whitaker, but at the end of the day, they're primarily strikers, and DDP's fought his fair share of wrestlers, don't get me wrong. He's gotten to his fair share of scrambles. He's had people shoot on him. He's shot on other people. But at the end of the day, Chimaev's grappling is something he's never going to face for it. The frenzy of Chimaev, okay? Just having somebody who is just so adamant on getting the fight to the ground, it's going to be something that DDP hasn't faced before, you know what I mean? Yeah, he's fought guys who can mix it up well, but to have someone who's going to be as adamant to get the ground as Chimaev, and as intense and as strong on the ground as Chimaev, as good with the takedown entries, as good at getting people out of there, you know what I mean, on the ground. And then DDP on the other end, I feel like he just has the cardio and the striking and the power to just Chimaev has to be on his toes the entire, I don't know why I said that. That's such a white fucking thing to say, bro. He's got to be on his toes for this one. But seriously, Chimaev has to be fucking ready the entire fight. And that's going to be a hard thing to do, especially if DDP does mix in the takedowns, like I said, and kind of has him guessing and kind of overthinking a bit, you know what I mean? Chimaev is developing good experience for as little as the motherfucker fights, but you know what I mean? But dude, he's got to be game the entire fight, man. That's why the cardio is so concerning to me, because DDP isn't just some decision merchant, okay? If Chimaev is dying out in the 3rd or 4th round, DDP isn't just going to take over and he's going to just, rack up on the judges' scorecards, maybe he'll outstrike him. DDP's going to be hunting to take him out on the feet, because Chimaev, he is hittable. I mean, dude, if he's getting in these back and forth wars on the feet with Usman and Burns, and again, I rate DDP striking and power higher than both of them, what the fuck is DDP going to do to him? You know what I mean? I feel like it's going to be him just waiting for Chimaev to just gas the fuck out, because that's it. The DDP DDP, I feel like, is going to know, like, yeah, he's going to try and mix it up to the best of his ability, but he knows if Chimaev makes it into that third round and DDP is still there, he is going to have one of the he's going to have one of the biggest fucking grins, all right? That evil DDP grin, the villain that we all know and love, okay? The goddamn best villain in the UFC, all right? This is like a baby face of a villain, but DDP, man, he's going to have a big smile because he knows you're in my territory now, motherfucker, all right? DDP is comfortable in the third round. He's comfortable in the fourth. He's comfortable in the fifth. And Chimaev, I would have stopped my goddamn sentence before I even started it because Chimaev barely makes it out the second. And when he does, you know, like, again, the third round against Usman, he's getting pieced the hell up. You know, the third round against Burns, it's a back and forth. You know what I mean? Chimaev doesn't get to the third round that often, but when he does, it's scary for him, let alone if you have 2 more rounds afterwards. I know we all shit on Chimaev's cardio, but dude, I can't oversell how important it is to this fight specifically, man. You know what I mean? DDP has all the tools on paper to beat a guy like Chimaev. You know, he has the finishing ability. He's going to be hunting to take his head off. Chimaev is hittable, okay? And while his chin is good, especially with that fucking Mount Rushmore of a goddamn beard he has down there, right? I still think that DDP can find all the right shots. He's accurate as fuck. He has power. Chimaev's hittable. And he's uncomfortable, I feel like, in those... Like, yes, he's been to war a couple times. Don't get me wrong. I've said that 100 times in this video. But you can't lie if you're saying that he's not uncomfortable in those situations, man. Obviously, Chimaev is going to much prefer just submitting somebody in the first fucking round. You know what I mean? That's why it all comes back to him just spamming a bunch of takedowns and why he's so urgent to get to fight to the ground. If he can make it as easy and as slick as it fucking can be, that's what Chimaev's goal is, especially because he knows that his cardio is his biggest fucking weakness, you know? But DDP, man, I'm telling you, he's going to be like a brick wall there in front of him. I think that Chimaev is going to be able to get him down a few fucking times, okay? In the first round, in the second, for sure, all right? I'm not doubting that Chimaev is going to be able to take down DDP. He will. How many times? I don't know. And how many times is DDP going to be able to stuff the takedowns? I don't know, but I'm going to tell you what. I feel like DDP might be able to do what a lot of us just thought Whitaker was kind of good enough to do, and that's when the fight does get on the ground where Whitaker, he's good enough down there where he'll be able to, yeah, get taken down, but he'll be able to efficiently get back up after, you know, maybe 10, 15 seconds and avoid dangerous positions. Like just how we saw JDM against Bilal Muhammad. Like JDM was so quick to just pop back up to his feet. Bilal did get him down a few times, you know, and I think that Chimaev is going to get DDP down more than Bilal did against JDM. But you know what I'm saying? Like JDM was efficient with getting back up, and I feel like Whitaker, he wasn't. DDP, I think he's going to be. I think that he is the answer that we thought that Usman and Whitaker were going to be, you know, and DDP's in his prime as well. It's not Burns on the ladder after his career. It's not Usman, you know, after he already lost the belt. This is prime DDP, and yes, he'll get taken down a few times, but I'm telling you, man, even the second round, that big babyface villain smirk, I'm telling you, it's going to be from the cage door to the cage door, all right? That big ass smile, because he just knows, man, that like, okay, each round that goes by, the takedown accuracy is going to go down, okay? The amount of times he's going to shoot is going to go down. All of a sudden, all the takedowns are getting stuffed. Now it's a confidence thing. The heart rate, it's picking up more and more. Chimaev's cardio problem, he's going to have a goddamn stroke in there like he's Shamil fucking Gaziev, you know what I'm saying? So Chimaev is clearly going to want to take him out in the first round, okay? But I think that DDP is going to be efficient enough. I think he will probably lose the first round. Like, even if Chimaev does get him down in the first round and DDP doesn't get up super quick, as long as he doesn't get finished. That is the key thing here. If DDP, even if he gets taken down and held down throughout the first, or even gets in some close positions there where he's kind of like, oh, fuck, I can get fucked here, as long as it's like he makes it to the second round. Each round that goes by, man, I'm telling you, if he gets to that third, dude, I know we say this with every single Chimaev fight, but it's just DDP is, I feel like, the highest level of opponent here that he might be facing besides Kamaru. And again, there were kind of a bit of specific circumstances with that whole Kamaru fight, you know what I mean? So both these guys are very high output, so I feel like the exchanges that we do see on the feet are gonna be a bit of a stand and bang war, because, you know, like I said, Chimaev isn't a type of fighter who I feel like wants to get in these kind of uncomfortable situations if he can avoid it, but he is solid in there, you know what I mean? Like, we did kind of see him get into those stand and bang exchanges in the pocket, and he went to fucking war. But again, he won't want to prefer that. I feel like you're playing into DDP's territory there. Just because Chimaev's done it a couple times doesn't mean that that's going to be necessarily where he fucking excels. Those are the two fights that people say the most, like, oh, dude, like, Chimaev went to the distance. Oh, dude, like, they gave him a tough call. So, yeah, Chimaev won those fights, but don't get it twisted, man. Like, it was close fucking calls both times. DDP's going to be as confident as ever. He's going to stand in front of him, ready to stand and bang on the feet, ready to have a high-paced, back-and-forth war, but also ready for whatever the hell Chimaev's going to throw at him. I feel like maybe I should word it like like that. That might be the difference maker here as well. I feel like DDP is going to be ready for whatever the hell Chimaev's going to throw at him, and there's a lot of shit that DDP can throw at Chimaev that he might not be ready for. Now, I know that Chimaev has been kind of getting ready for the title shot for a while now, ever since he beat Whitaker. I feel like us, Uncle Dana, everybody has known that he's getting the next title shot, okay? And I think that's the right decision. I love this fucking fight. I absolutely think it was the right one to make. Shout out to Imavov. I know he's there as well. He's the backup for this fight, so there genuinely is a really good chance that Imavov will get a title shot here because Chimaev, he does fucking pull out, all right? So it's a real thing, but Chimaev, in my opinion, like, we gotta see this fight, man. Let's just give Chimaev the goddamn title shot. DDP is on an absolute tear right now and has middleweight GOAT potential, and I mean that with every fiber of my being. I'm riding the DDP hype, and I just think this is as high level as a matchup as it gets for the division, man. Again, all due respect to Imavov or the former champions like Izzy and Whitaker and all that shit, but at the end of the day, dude, middleweight's cooking, and these two guys are gonna be the ones to really determine who's gonna be the king of the division for the next few years. So my early prediction, and by the time that, like, not even early prediction, my whole ass prediction for this fight is gonna be Dricus Du Plessis. I've been saying this, okay, for months and months, even end of 2024, I've been saying that I think DDP is gonna beat Chimaev, okay? Like I said, I picked Whitaker to beat Chimaev, so I've been here before, right? And I was fucking wrong, but man, I'm confident in this. I'm gonna stand my base. Stand your base. Stand your fucking base. I'm gonna stand my base here on this one, and I'm gonna be going with DDP to win via a 4th round TKO or a 48-47 decision. All right, that's gonna be my prediction here. Maybe I'll change like how I see DDP getting it done, but other than that, I'm going with DDP all day. I've been saying this for months, and I'm gonna keep fucking preaching, all right? I need to see like a full violence DDP collab, all right? Take my fucking money, but that is gonna be my early breakdown here for DDP versus Chimaev. Let me know who you think's gonna win in the comments below. I'm very, very curious to hear it, and also if anybody else is gonna be going to UFC 319 in Chicago, let me know, dude. I'm excited as fuck for it. I hope they stack up the card. Maybe we'll get like Strickland Izzy 2 on there as well. Mixed feelings on that, but you know what I mean. Let's hope they stack up the card, but let me know who you think is going to win this fight in the comments below, y'all. Appreciate y'all so very much for making this far in the video. All the smoke here. Appreciate y'all a lot. Hope we have a good one, and I will see you all next time.